Hello, gentlemen. I'm not going to be at men's ministry tonight. And the reason that I'm not going to be at men's ministry tonight is because I have chosen to do something rather manly. I have chosen to do something that will take a great deal of man courage. I have chosen tonight to take my teenage daughter out on a date. Now, the reason that I'm doing this instead of being with you is because, well, it's fun. But more importantly, I'm doing it because I want to model for my daughter the way a man should treat a woman. And since I am the supreme man in her life, I am going to model for her how a man should treat a woman on a date. Now, I would encourage each of you to do the same sort of thing with everyone in your life, son, daughter, Christian, non-Christian, to reinforce the way that people should behave, the kinds of things that God would want to see. And the best way to do that is with your Christian walk and to show them a real example. But when Bobby told me that you guys would be talking about faith, I had to put my 2 cents in. Faith is a very important subject to me and one of my favorites. And the reason that faith is important to me is because it's important to God. Hebrews 11:6 tells us that without faith it is impossible to please God. Well, why would that be? Why is it impossible to please God without faith? Well, the reason is this. Faith produces behavioral results. If you believe that your employer is not going to pay you, then you're not going to go back to your employer. If you do not have faith that the brakes in your car are safe, then you're probably not going to get in your car. And if you don't have faith that God exists and that He's a rewarder of the things that He tells you to do, then you're not going to do those things that God tells you to do. If you believe that God is real, and if you really believe that He has things for you to do in this life, and if you believe that He's going to take care of you in the end over all of the trials that you might experience in life, you're going to be very likely to do those things He tells you to do. That's why faith is important to God. If you believe God, and if you believe that God is moving you to a different job, you're going to leave the security of your current job to go to the perceived insecurity of another job. That's because you have faith in God. And that's why God is pleased by faith. But if we don't exercise the faith that God has given us, that means we won't do those things He's called us to do, like the Great Commission. And if we don't do the Great Commission, and if we don't get involved in the lives of people, our sanctuaries will look like this, empty. And this is the place where both Christians and non-Christians need to be.